Welcome back, my little nightmares. Me, Queen Nightmare, and I have some news. I am going to be getting my scholarships today, or going to, like I'm going to actually win them. We're going to find out who won the scholarships. Well, scholarship, which was the interview, and then the other one you just applied for. Both of them, which one they ever are. And one's like 10,000 and another like 5,000. No, it's 5,000 and 1,000. There we go. And I'm kind of excited, but at the same time, I don't think I actually got any. You know what I mean? Got any scholarships. But let's keep on going with our Drarry story. Where the frig did I put my Wattpad? Have you ever went through your house and been like, where did I put that one thing that and it's literally the same place you put it. You know where it is, but you just keep on going around the house like you don't know what's going on. That's what happened to me just now. Why is my thing so slow? Okay, so let's add that. Oh, okay. It's already added. Okay, here. Also, if anyone finds a Blaze and Ron story, I really need to read another one of those, because it was one of my favorites. Well, a lot of my favorites are really weirdly sometimes not Drarry, which is kind of strange, which is the Snape one right now, which is pretty good. Yay! Okay, it went to the place I was looking for. Interview, meetings, and accidental magic. I'm contemplating No! I'll be demonetized! Alex, don't! Don't do too much. Just, maybe some touching like they did in the Snarry story, which is a big spoiler for you. You have to read the whole story to understand it, but finally they had a time. But no, for this chapter, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alex, 27 comments. Please no. No! As much as possible, please. What? Yay, writing. You are better at writing smut than you give yourself credit for. What? You are so right. No! Oh no! Please, just do it. Every time I turn the page, I get scared and that it's the last. Yeah, sometimes it does act like that, though. Harry and Draco woke up earlier than usual and started breakfast. Draco cooked it since Harry cooked dinner, and they waited for Andromeda to come downstairs. It was 7, and Harry usually picked Teddy up at around 7:30. Andromeda finally came downstairs and the three ate breakfast together and read the newspaper. It looks like people are excited to see what kind of stores we're what kind of store we're opening, Harry commented, while reading from the Daily Prophet. I really think they refined the Daily Prophet. Not so many as many people are buying the tabloid magazine, so at least our lives are a little more private, Harry said. Draco cleared the table, and Harry headed upstairs to get Teddy. Harry slowly opened the door and closed it. He crept over to the crib and looked down at Teddy. Since his focus wasn't on his appearance, Harry noticed that his light brown hair. He noticed he had light brown hair and a slightly darker complexion. Harry opened the big curtains and picked him up. Teddy yawned and rubbed his eyes. Harry laughed at Teddy's half blue, half brown hair. Let's get you all dressed for the day, Harry said happily, trying to wake him up more. Harry sat Teddy on the changing table and rummaged through the drawers for his clothes. You should check on change his diaper first before you look for his clothes. Harry took his pajamas off and changed his diaper, and then changed him into his day clothes. Day clothes. I like that. Harry dressed him in some loose navy blue pants and a plaid t-shirt. Teddy was finally fully awake, and his complexion lightened. His hair became fully blue. He giggled and held onto Harry as they walked downstairs to the kitchen. Teddy squealed when he saw Draco and started to make grabby hands at him. Harry handed him to Draco while he got his breakfast ready. Harry, if you're okay with it, I recently started to cook him some scrambled eggs and give them to him. It's soft enough, and it's introducing him to more adult foods. He likes it a lot. Oh, when I was a baby, you could feed me anything. Oh, I was like making them. I was like a shark. Just feed me. You couldn't give me mush. I would have ate it. I'm that type of baby. I wasn't complaining. I'm the type of baby that I want, because if my baby complains, oh boy, that would be the death of me. Oh man. Oh, I need to get back on social media again. I miss so much. I miss a lot of things happening in the world if I'm not on social media. Andromeda told Harry, and Harry placed the baby food away and scrambled one egg. As long as he eats it, I'm fine with making it, Harry said. It only took a moment to cook it. Harry cooled it down for Teddy, and he gave him little bites, and Teddy loved it. Once breakfast was completely over, Harry cleaned his mouth up a little and gave him a sippy cup of orange juice. I set the playpen in the library parlor area, since there was a lot of room there. That way, he's close while you're changing or having a shower. You can always move it if you don't like the placement, Andromeda informed them. Thank you, that's perfect. Today we are help me. Today we're just going. If you don't understand why I'm stuttering so much, I'm just waiting for it to happen, because he said he's gonna put smut in there, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna limit my AdSense, and it's gonna limit probably some views. Who am I kidding? The one most popular thing is my one-shots of Drarry, and you want to know what's in it? I had to restrict it because it had smut in it. That's one of my most popular things. You want to know how many views are on it? Hold on a second. I kid you not. Oh my gosh. Unless there's a new video that has more views, which I doubt it completely. Views. I don't care. Just most recent, most viewed. Apply. Yeah, it's Drarry Fanfiction, Drarry one-shots, part 1 through 7, 7 days left. And it has, I kid you freaking not, 25,496 views. And if you're on a school computer, you will not find it because it's restricted. Am I right? It's restricted, right? Mm-hmm. Select audience. Oh. No, it's not made for kids. Did I not put it on the frickin' thing? I am a horrible person. What the fuck? Wait, I do have monetization? I'm so confused. How can I get monetization on something like this? Maybe you can find it. Maybe I'm just a dumbass that didn't. You know what? Never mind. I take it back. I'm a dumbass. Okay. Fun. Thank you. That's perfect. Today we're just going to visit the store to finalize the lists. So I think I'll bring Teddy. It should only take an hour or so. Then we're going to visit some old friends. Harry thanked her. Draco thanked her. Damn it. So, he shouldn't have said that he was going to not put, he was thinking about it at the beginning. He should have said it just before it, because then I'm just freaking out for the whole chapter for no reason. If you want, I can take care of Teddy while you're out. It's not like I have anything to do nowadays," Andromeda suggested to the two. Harry looked at Draco and nodded. That would be lovely. That would be lovely. Hopefully everything will calm down when the store opens, but we would appreciate you watching over him. My question is, why don't they take the kid along with Andromeda to see the store and just see how he likes the store, or Andromeda likes the store? I burped and yawned at the same time. That hurt. Okay. Would appreciate you watching over him, Harry said. Harry and Draco headed to their room to get dressed to go out of town. To go to town. We're in the middle of nowhere. Andromeda brought Teddy to the parlor and played around with him, and read books to him. Harry dressed in some black jeans with a burgundy t-shirt and some black back boots. Ooh, I love black boots. I need some black boots. I need to do that. Draco wore some gray gray joggers with a black t-shirt and some kind of black flat shoes. Harry got it for him as a present a while ago, but Draco never knew the brand. Must be Muggle. Harry tied his hair into a bun, and Draco did his normal curls and flattened his slightly overgrown undercut. The two gathered all their empty notebooks and brought extra quills and ink. They were going to create an official catalog book, copy it, and disperse them around the store so the customers would know what they have. Draco was going to try to cast a charm that kept up with the changing quantities of the plants and bottles. They peeked their heads through the library door. We're off now. If you get hungry, help yourself. If you go outside, do not go anywhere near the forest. I will have to talk to the wolves and the goblins. Wait, the goblins should be putting up some wards today, so make sure not to pass the boundary. We should be back in about 3 hours, maybe less. Harry briefed her. She waved to them. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Have fun and take your time, she told them. Goodbye, Andromeda, Draco told her. Bye, Harry said. The two left through the flue and arrived in the third floor of their store. Harry unlocked the door to the third floor, and they started from the top and worked their way down. Harry told Draco the plants and their area, number, price, and quantity of the plant. They did this only taking a break or two, and worked through all the floors. They were just wrapping up on the first floor when they heard someone knocking on their door. They saw a really excited-looking female with a camera and a notepad and a quill, frantically pointing at the doorknob through the window. Draco sighed and let her in. I'm sorry, but we aren't open for service yet, Draco said, trying to shut her down. She was stubborn and walked into the store. She held her hand out to Draco. My name is Amanda Todds. I work for the service section of the Daily Prophet. I wanted to interview you two just for a moment about your store, she told them. Draco shook her hand. I guess if it's about our store, Draco said slowly, while looking at Harry. Harry nodded to her. We can answer some questions, as long as it's strictly related to our store, Harry told her. Of course! Why would I work for a service section if I only talked about the owners. My editor told me to come to you since you are the newest store in Diagon Alley. For a couple of years, and he wanted an article, Amanda told them. Harry and Draco looked around. Sorry, but we don't have any chairs or tables. We didn't really set up any. Harry apologized. It's quite all right. I can ask you to while standing now. Now, what are you selling at your store? She asked. Potion ingredients, fresh and pre-bottled. We also have some miscellaneous potions. We've got a lot of rare ingredients and some dangerous ones on the upper levels. That it's kind of like a garden store for the avid potions master. What if Snape came in and being like, I see that you perfected on something in potions. Because I don't know if it was Harry who sucked at potions or... No, Neville really sucked at potions. I don't know what it was with Neville. Why is it always me? I don't know. My dude, I don't know. Miscellaneous potions. We've got, Harry told her. She wrote down his response on parchment. What is the name of the store called? She asked. The name is a secret for now. Everyone will find out on opening day, Harry told her. She wrote down a quick response on her paper. To make clear, you are Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter, the owners of the store, she asked. They nodded. Are you intended to making this a sort of a family business or turn it into an empire? Empire. I just love that saying. Are you going to turn it into an empire? Like he's going to take over everything, she asked. Harry laughed. Definitely not an empire. This will be the only shop of its kind, Draco told her. When are you opening up your store? She asked. Draco looked puzzled, but Harry smiled. I'm thinking tomorrow. As a matter of fact, we have everything finished, and the sign is done. I'll arrive early tomorrow to put it up, and at around 12, we'll officially open up, Harry told her. She wrote it down. And finally, do you plan on employing anyone? If you are, what kinds of people would it be? She asked. Harry thought for a moment. In the future, we would probably hire 1 or 2 people to help us transport our goods from the greenhouse to the store. Maybe have one of them work the cash register, Harry told her. She finished writing and closed her notepad. Thank you. That'll be all. I'll spread the word for your store and publish the article once you've got your store name, she said as she exited the store. Goodbye now. She left the store and walked away. Harry locked the door and Draco wrote a sign that said, opening tomorrow at 12 p.m. and he hung it in the window. Draco multiplied the catalog book 12 times and placed 5 on the first, second, and only 1 on the third. He kept the original copy of the book so he could change it when needed, and the changes would transfer to the others. They made sure everything was locked up, and they flew to the burrow. When did you get the sign done? Draco asked as they walked into the burrow. Just wait, was all Harry said. Draco couldn't ask any more questions because Molly and Hermione ran over to them and hugged them. I've missed you two so much, Hermione said as she hugged them. You saw us yesterday, Draco laughed. Only, usually I see you at 2 every day, though. So just let me be excited, Hermione told him. She turned her attention to Harry. I finished the sign. I'll bring it tomorrow, and we can hang it up. Hermione told him, That's perfect, thank you. He thanked her. So Hermione's making the sign. I guess that makes sense, Draco said. Ron and George came downstairs to greet them. Hey, mate, he said. How are you doing? What are you doing here? He asked. I had to give you a verbal invitation to Teddy's first birthday, Harry summed up. To say hello, they said hello to George, Ginny, and Arthur when they came down. They all sat down and Molly served some biscuits. All right. Whoa. I don't know where my voice went. All right. As you know, Teddy's birthday, well, he wouldn't be eating solid foods yet. Like eggs. Usually before you're 1. It's more when you're 14 months, not almost 1. It's very dangerous because their teeth are not really forming yet until after they're 1 year old. Unless he's a really advanced baby, then. So was I, so I can't really say anything. I'm just saying, be careful. Take your time with the baby. That's all I'm asking. Teddy's birthday is coming up at the end of the month, so I wanted to invite you all to his first birthday party. We'll have a cake. We're inviting some old friends over. What do you say? Harry asked them, and they all happily agreed to come. Now that that is out of the way, I had a favor to ask of Hermione and Ron, Harry said. He looked at the two. Teddy's birthday happens to be a day of the full moon. Oh, shoot. Poor Harry. Oh, man. Harry said. He looked at, full moon. I was wondering if you'd accompany me to the woods so I could talk to the gray wolves about an agreement. I didn't want to go alone, and I wanted there to be someone who's aware of where I am in case I go crazy. And I wanted Draco to stay with Teddy so I know he's fine. I found a potion that'll give me energy during the moon so I should be awake and have a conscience. Harry told the two. Of course, mate, anything, Ron told him. Hermione nodded her head. Always, she said. Harry thanked them both. Perfect. This is really important for me. Since I'm going to try to ask the Grey Wolves for their protection, they're the only threatening thing in the forest. So I wanted to make sure they'll protect Teddy if he ever goes exploring. Harry added. The two talked with everyone a little and said their goodbyes. Harry owled. Frig! Oh, that hit different. Oh. Wow. Okay. Sorry. I sneezed and felt like my brain hit my skull. Ah. Harry owled Neville, Luna, and Minerva about meeting them separately that day, so they had to leave to get to the others. They stood in the flue and went to Luna's home. When they got there, they saw Luna waiting for them in the living room. Hello, Harry. Hello, Draco, Luna greeted in the normal, dreamy voice. She hugged the two and offered them a seat. What have you been doing? What's new? Draco asked her. He was happy to speak to her again. She was the first of the group that he bonded with besides Harry. Very conflicted. Neville and I split up recently. But I'm happy, she told him. Wait, what? She told them. Harry went wide-eyed. Really? How come? Harry asked. Neville wants someone who will be a housewife and stay home. He wants children and a quiet life. I really want to explore the world, look for new creatures, and not be tied down to a house, she said. But on the bright side, I met this really nice bloke while I was out in the woods. His name is Rolf Scamander. I am sorry. I know that name, but I can't think of it right now. I'm just calling him S because if I mess it up, keep on saying it, I will mess it up. He's the son of Newt Unless they're spelling the name wrong. That's how it's spelled. The author... I think... The author of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. We both share the same love for new and old creatures. Do you know how freaking old he is? I'm sorry. Newt was back in 1800? Because if you look at Dumbledore and how he looked, jeez, he was young. He was played by Jude Law, if you don't know who I'm talking about. Okay. I didn't know you were into older men. I'm sorry. She said rather excitedly. Harry and Draco was happy that she found someone that made her feel excited to be around. That's great. How did Neville take the breakup? Harry asked. Very well. He admitted he still had feelings for Hannah Abbott. That name sounds familiar, but I can't think of what she looked like. And he wasn't sure of our relationship would work out. I think he's starting to talk to Hannah now, but I'm glad, she answered him. That's good. Then you two are happy, which is great, Draco said. Draco and I have moved in together and we're taking care of Teddy. His first birthday is the end of the month, and I was wondering if you would like to come, Harry asked. Of course. I have still yet to see Teddy. I think it'll be fun, Luna agreed. The two talked for a while longer until her father came home. Luna had to help her father with the quibbler. So the two said their goodbyes and headed over to Neville's home. When they got there, Neville was waiting for them. Harry, Draco, welcome back! Haven't seen you in a while, he greeted happily. He's on drugs. I'm sorry. I'm happy when I see my friends, but how I said it, he said his words, sounded like he was on something to make him that happy. You know? Never mind. Bad joke, probably. Harry and Draco hugged him. Great to see you again, mate, Harry said. Great to see you, Draco told him. The two sat down. Neville offered them some tea, and they declined. So what's new? Draco asked. Well, Luna and I broke up, and I'm starting to see Hannah Abbott. I almost said Hannah Baker. Never seen 13 Reasons Why. I didn't want to see it because it was really, really, really sad. So, freaking A. He told them. Harry nodded. We knew that bit. We just came from Luna's place. I'm glad you two are happy now, Harry told him. Thank you. Oh, and Professor McGonagall accepted my request to become the new herbology professor. I start this September, he said excitedly. The two congratulated him. You're lucky Minerva allowed you to come back so soon. Usually the headmaster would make a student wait a year or two for age differences, Draco told him. I'm glad. She thinks that my youthfulness would suit well with the students. I mean, You'll be the favorite that's going to be confessed to a lot. How much do you want to bet that's a thing? I need to wash my head. Because I feel all disgusting right now. Like I'm greasy. You're lucky. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, would you like to come to my godson's first birthday party at the end of the month? All the others will be there, Harry asked. Neville shook his head. Sorry, but I can't. I've got some extra classes that I'm taking for the teacher position. I'm supposed to have an advanced level of herbology, so I'm taking classes frequently. Today was the only day I got free since I accidentally blew up a potion yesterday. They had to fix the room, Neville told them sadly, and a little ashamed of exploding a potion. It's all right. No harm done, Draco told him. The three talked for a little while longer, and until it was time for the two to leave. They said their goodbyes and stood in the flue and flew to Minerva's home. When they got there, the room was empty. Minerva? Harry called out. Minerva walked in the living room. There you are, she smiled. Harry and Draco greeted her respectfully, and the three sat down. Would you like some tea? She asked, and already levitated a pot with some cups and plates. Harry and Draco didn't dare say no, so they accepted the tea. How have you been, Minerva? Anything new? Harry asked, trying to make some small talk. Everything's okay, I guess. All the teachers have been replaced. Neville is taking the last spot, so after that, the entire staff will be new. I finally got through all the paperwork, so my job is going to be a lot less stressful from here on out, she said. Well, I'm glad that you have less weight on your shoulders now. The paperwork must have been horrendous last year, Harry said. Minerva nodded her head. I hate to bring up such a topic with you here on a visit, but I think you'd like to know. I've been visiting Hogwarts during the summer. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I've been visiting Hogwarts during the summer to make sure everything is fine, and I've noticed the ghost count rose. It usually takes a year for a ghost to come back from dying, and the students are coming back, Minerva said grimly. Harry just looked down at his lap. He knew it was a matter of time. The students were so young, of course, they would be restless spirits. Yeah. Have you seen Fred? Draco asked her. Minerva nodded her head. He mopes around by himself. I usually find him in my office, drawing obscene things onto... No! Oh, poor Snape. Oh, no. I usually find him in my office drawing obscene things on Severus's portrait. Although I clean it up the next day, he comes back and writes obscenities again. Other than that, he just stays out of view, Minerva told them. Harry sniffled a little. George has really recovered. He's smiling again and playing around. He's even job hunting, Harry told her. That's good. I'm glad he's feeling better, she said. Well, what about you? What's new? She asked. Well, we moved in with each other, and we've got our own home, and we're taking care of Teddy. We're opening our own store tomorrow, Draco told her. That's wonderful. Does Teddy still have his blue hair? She asked. Yeah. He changes it sometimes, but he keeps it blue most of the time, Harry told her. He calmed himself down enough to talk with a strong voice. Speaking of Teddy, would you come to his first birthday party? at the end of the month, the Weasley, Malfoys, and some others will be there. Harry asked her. I would be delighted. I haven't seen him in a long time. It'll be fun to see him again, she said. They talked together a little longer. They talked about the past and some about the future. It was close to 2 and Harry decided it was time to leave. He didn't want to overstay their welcome. I think we should be heading off. I don't want to leave Teddy with Andromeda the entire day. Harry excused himself and Draco. They said goodbye to Minerva and they flew back home. When they got home, they saw Andromeda waiting in the living room. They noticed her bag was next to the Floo. She put up a finger to her mouth. Welcome back. I put Teddy down for a nap a while ago. He should be up at 3, she told them. Thank you so much. You've been such a help. Harry thanked her. Andromeda stood and gave them a hug. No problem, sweetie. Anytime you need a wizard sitter, just ask. I think I'll head off. Wouldn't want to overstay my welcome, she said. She grabbed her bag in her hand and walked into the Floo. See you at Teddy's party, she said. She then disappeared into a puff of green fire. Harry and Draco sat down on the couch. Tired from everything that day. Draco leaned his head on Harry's shoulder. Draco leaned his head on Harry's shoulder. There's so much going on. Do you think we'll be able to do it all? Draco asked. I don't want this store to come between us and make us have less time together, he said. Harry kissed him on the head. Dragon, if I have to close the store for an entire summer just to be with you, then I will. I will do everything in my power to make sure we spend time together and maintain the business. Harry assured Draco. Draco smiled. He sat up and adjusted himself to straddle Harry's lap. Harry immediately placed his hands on Draco's bum. No! I have to look ahead. I have to. Oh, okay. Okay. It's good. It's all good. It's all good. All good. What do you think you're doing, Harry? What do you think you're doing? Harry smirked, looking up at Draco. Can I not sit on my boyfriend? Draco asked. Harry put on a fake thinking face. It'll come with a charge, Harry said. Draco chuckled, leaned down to kiss Harry. The two made out in the position for a while, and Harry slowly pushed Draco down, and he sat on Draco while they made out. They were both thankful for the wider sofa. The two made out in this position for a while, and they finally decided to take it. No! I thought you guys were tired. You're gonna make me too tired for this shit. Too bad I had a triple shot before I did this. Hold on. I got the energy to do it. They finally decided to take it to the bedroom. Harry stood up, slang Draco over his shoulder, which earned a giggle from Draco. Harry carried Draco to the stairs, and the two walked towards their room. Harry placed a charm on. No, please, Teddy's, so he wouldn't wake up if he heard any noise. Harry closed the door and threw Draco onto the bed. He jumped onto the bed and climbed onto Draco and continued to kiss him. Draco wrapped his legs around Harry and held on to him. They made out for a bit, but before they could continue, they heard Teddy crying in the other room. "Thank you, Teddy." "Thank you." Harry ran to his room and went to check on him. He opened the door and he saw toys and shit flying. I curse you. Just curse you. Flying around the room. It looked like Teddy was having a bad dream. Harry dodged the flying objects and scooped Teddy into his arms, waking Teddy up. Wake up, Teddy. "Everything is all right. It's just a dream," he cried to calm Teddy down. Harry didn't see the wooden block that was flying around, and it struck Harry fast in the back of the head. "Ow!" Harry yelled out. Draco ran into the room and quickly started to direct the flying objects around towards the ground. Harry rocked Teddy and gently woke him up. Teddy finally woke up and looked around with teary eyes. "You're all right, Teddy. Everything is fine," Harry told him. Teddy, previously white hair, turned back to a normal blue. It was close enough to 3, and Harry decided to take Teddy out and play with him a little. The 3 went to the library parlor, which was turned into a playroom. Harry set up some charms around the room so Teddy couldn't pull any books down onto himself or anything else to fall on him. He let Teddy crawl around and explore the room. Harry and Draco sat down in the comfy chairs and watched Teddy. "Well, that was a cock block." "Oh, I said that word," Draco said, jokingly. Harry laughed with him. The mood was gone, but they were glad Teddy didn't accidentally hurt himself when his magic was acting up. "One thing's for sure, he has Tonk's exploding magic," he said. Draco agreed. They sat around and read some of the books from the library and let Teddy play around with his toys. Harry headed down to make dinner, and they ate before feeding Teddy. They skipped the bath and went straight to bed. Teddy fell asleep after a short story, and Harry put him to bed. Harry and Draco took a shower together, and got ready for bed. "Good night, Harry," Draco said. "Good night, love," Harry told Draco. "Ha, bitch! You thought they'd frickle frackle." Didn't soon though. No! Please do not go into great detail. I will literally turn into a red tomato because I get so embarrassed because I have to say it out loud on the internet. If I'm saying it to a friend, I can say it to a friend because I'm embarrassing them, not myself. Please no. The first comment. I'd like to record the frickle frackle. But only with consent, of course. Maybe. Frick yes. Woo! I'll bring the cake, bitches. Yeah. Don't frickle frackle with children in the house, sir. That's the best line. Don't frickle frackle with children in the house. They have a point. You want to know why, though? Biggest, you-know-whaters in the world. They will ruin the mood, especially babies, because babies have to have the most attention. Opening day and a surprise. Harry and Draco woke up eager for the day. It was opening day, and they still had some things to get ready. He dressed himself in blue jeans, a lavender t-shirt, and some brown work boots. Draco wore something. I'm sorry, my alarm went off. Anyways, Draco wore something a little more fancy and had on black slacks and a tight button-up t-shirt with the collar where the collar was red, the torso was white, and the sleeves were navy blue. He paired the outfits with black leather ankle boots. Ooh, yes, honey. And a gold buckle belt. Okay. Harry tied his hair up into his normal bun, and Draco curled him. I'm guessing curling his hair, not curled him. Curled his, not him. The two's outfits really fit their personalities. They looked good together. Draco woke up Teddy and got him dressed in black pants and a light green shirt. They headed down to the kitchen and quickly cooked breakfast. When Draco brought Teddy downstairs, they all ate together. Harry took breaks between his bites to feed Teddy a bite of scrambled egg. Once breakfast was done, Harry kissed Draco and Teddy goodbye and headed to the flue. I'm going to go help Hermione with the sign. Come to the store when you can. We have 2 hours until it opens. I bet there's going to be people waiting for it to open, Harry told Draco. He then entered the flue and made his way to Hermione's home. Hermione, I'm here, Harry called. Hermione's mother poked her head out of the living room. Oh, hello, Harry. Well, long time no see. What's up? She asked casually. Oh, hello, Mrs. Granger. I'm just here to help Hermione bring in my sign for my store. We're doing an opening day today, so we'll need it, Harry explained. I'll be there in a second, they heard Hermione yell. Jeez, 17 years old and you already have a business. The wizarding world moves so fast. Well, anyways, best of luck. I got to keep an eye on the bacon so it doesn't burn, Mrs. Granger finished. She went down to the kitchen to finish cooking. Hermione walked downstairs while floating a giant covered sign down with her. Harry got out of her way and let her place the sign into the flue. Harry lifted the sheet to take a peek of the sign and then covered it up. It looks marvelous. Thank you so much, Hermione, Harry thanked her. He hugged her with gratitude. She hugged him back. Anything for you. I know this is important to you and to Draco, so I couldn't say no. Plus, it was making that was fun. I charmed it so it wouldn't age. She told him. My goodness. The two carefully squeezed into the flue and flew to the store. When they got there, they dusted the soot off and carried the sign down the 2 flights of stairs. Harry made sure to lock the third floor door. They walked outside and saw a couple of people standing around in front of the store, and even a couple of reporters. The two ignored them and hung the sign up. Hermione stood guard outside to make sure no one took the cover off. Harry ran inside and was met with Draco carrying Teddy down the stairs. Great, you're here! Is there anything we missed? Harry asked as he looked around. No, I don't think so. I think we've done everything. The uncovering of the sign is all we have to do, Draco said. The two walked outside and stayed with Hermione. They answered random questions that the people and reporters had. Finally, the Weasley family had arrived, and so did Narcissa. Harry and Draco said hello to everyone, and they waited for 10 to come. The clock finally turned 10, and Harry quieted the grown crowd. He recognized the Daily Prophet reporter, but didn't pay much attention. Draco handed Teddy to Narcissa. Thank you for coming to, thank you for coming today. Today is an opening of our potion ingredient store, Harry said as they grabbed onto the rope that was connected to the cover. Now behold, the Potter family garden store, Harry exclaimed. He uncovered the sign. Hermione did a great job. The sign had the name beautifully burned into the wood in detail, cursive writing. Draco looked at the sign in puzzlement. But you're the only Potter, Harry trailed off. While looking at the sign, something clicked, and he looked towards Harry. Harry reached into his pocket, and he picked out a blue box, and he got down on one knee. Draco gasped, and he covered his gaping mouth with his hands. Everyone around them was losing their shit. What did I tell you? He got a ring. He got a friggin' ring. And I was like, aren't you moving too fast? You're 17! Ugh. But then again, he went through some things that 17-year-olds don't go through, so. We've been together for almost a year now, and for so long, I haven't known what I was gonna do. Who I was going to become, who I was going to be with. Ever since I met you, I had all the answers. Draco Malfoy, will you do me the honor of a lifetime and become my husband? Draco asked, hopefulness in his eyes. Draco was crying happily, and he nodded his head. Yes, I'll marry you, Draco exclaimed. Harry slipped the silver engagement band on his finger. Draco immediately flung towards Harry, and Harry stood up and caught Draco. They took a long, passionate kiss. They ignored all the flashing lights and crying people. They were in the moment of a lifetime. They separated and hugged each other, crying happily. I love you so much, Draco cried out. I love you too, Harry told him. They separated and rubbed away their tears, and they saw Narcissa with happy tears as well, and Teddy was squealing happily. Harry picked up Teddy and hugged Narcissa. She was crying happily, and Harry separated from her and let Draco hug her. Harry gave Teddy a big kiss on the cheek, which made him giggle excitedly. He looked towards the Weasleys, and there were so many different emotions. Molly was about to cry. Arthur had a fatherly smile. Ginny and Ron were hugging each other and laughing for joy, and Ginny was handing George 2 galleons as he laughed maniacally. You know damn well that's me. I'm the George of the family. I bet on things. Ginny was handing George 2 galleons as he laughed maniacally. Well, yep, that's me. Come here, Harry, Molly told Harry. She, Harry and, she hugged Harry and Teddy. Harry gave everyone hugs and just ignored the random strangers that had mixed emotions about happiness, sadness, and outrage, saying it was fake. Harry and Draco got together and held both of their hands over their store handle and opened it. But bitch, it ain't 12 o'clock. They said 12 p.m. This is 10 p.m. How can you lie to me? Store handle and opened it. What are people saying? I want to see what people said. Ah ha ha ha, ignored. And the haters gonna fake. Shake it off. I'm sorry. If this is fake, then you're fake. Your life is fake, and your existence will be fake soon enough. What was that made? They're the ones to talk. Look at their faces. Oof! Oh my gosh. Them haters gonna hate these bitches. We're officially open, Draco called out happily. First rule, no reporters allowed, Harry yelled at the group. As customers flooded into the store, Harry and Draco denied the reporters access. Draco stood on the counter while Harry held Teddy and announced to the customers, "Thank you for coming. We have 3 floors of product. Rare plants are sold on the 3rd floors and must be opened to us," he said. While gesturing to himself and Harry. If you have any questions to ask us, he concluded. If you have any questions, ask us, he concluded, and he jumped down from the counter and hugged Harry and gave Teddy a kiss. You are too much, Harry, Draco smirked happily. They saw the Weasleys walk into the store, and Harry went to say hi while Draco managed the register. You are mental, Harry, Ginny told him. George hooked an arm around Harry. I knew you were going to do it, Harry, George said proudly. Harry greeted the others all and greeted Narcissa. I'm finally going to have a son-in-law, she exclaimed happily, and hopefully a godchild, she said as she lightly elbowed Harry. Harry immediately blushed. Oh, I love this Narcissa so much better. I love that you all came. Look around the store and tell us if you find something you like, Harry told them. He walked back to Draco. I'm going to walk around and see if the customers need anything, Harry told Draco. He nodded and stayed put. Harry went up the stairs and walked around the groups of people, looking at the bottles. He saw that some of the customers already had some bottles in their hand. He walked around the first floor and explained some of the different plants' uses. 95% of the plants have a use in potions. The other 5% are just gorgeous plants to give to others as presents, he told them. Before they knew it, everyone went and left. It was close to closing time. Harry made sure to lock up all the doors and the 2 counted the money. We earned 26 galleons, 20 sickles, and 6 nuts. I can't speak. 6 nuts. Draco concluded. That's great, Harry said happily. Teddy held the galleon and stared at its shininess. They placed the money into their pockets and went up to the 3rd floor. Harry closed and locked the door, and the 2 flew back home. That was a weird bird sound. When they got home, Teddy was yawning, and he had skipped his nap, so he was completely knackered out. What? Knackered out. Completely knackered. Is that an actual word? Then again, I don't know really good English because even though I speak it, I don't English well. Harry quickly got Teddy some dinner and fed him quickly before he fell asleep. Harry changed Teddy into his pajamas and laid him in his crib. He didn't even need to tell him a story. He fell asleep immediately. Harry drew the curtains and closed the door. He went to the room where Harry was emptying the money into their safe. This safe is directly linked to Gringotts, so all we have to do is put the money inside. It'll vanish into our vaults in the morning. I found it a while ago when I went shopping, Draco told him. That's cool, Harry said. I wish it was that easy. To empty money into a bank account, you'd really have to just go to the place and empty it, which is probably about 10 miles away from my house, but then again, it takes an arm and a leg to ask my mom to go there with me. That's cool, Harry said. Look at the vault. Looking at the vault, he headed to the bathroom and stripped for the shower. Harry followed soon after, and they both got a shower and pulled on their pajamas. Harry headed downstairs and warmed up some of their leftovers from the previous night. Once it was ready, he called Draco down, and they ate together. Today was very successful, Draco commented with a smile. For more than one reason, may I add. Harry smirked, looking at Draco. When do you want the wedding? Harry asked. Any time, as long as I'm with you, Draco said, smiling. They finished dinner and decided to leave the dishes for tomorrow. They headed up to bed. They climbed into bed and snuggled each other. You are amazing, Harry. What did I do to deserve you? Draco asked. You hugged me in Burks. I was yours from there on out. There's something on my phone, and it's a hair. Okay. Borgin and Burks. I was yours from there on out, Harry said lovingly. He kissed Draco. Good night, love, Harry said sleepily. Good night, love, Draco yawned back. Oh, jeez, okay, we got this. Ready? Freaking A. Go back. Going to work. Harry woke up early and got ready for work. He decided to let Draco sleep a little longer, so he left a note for him on the bathroom mirror. Harry got dressed quietly and headed downstairs to make himself a cup of coffee. He finished it and quickly flew out of the manor to the store. Harry unlocked the front door and waited at the cash register for his customers. The amount of customers slowly increased as the day went. He had to pick only one or two reporters out. But other than that, it was a good day. At around lunchtime, he locked the door and headed to the leaky cauldron. He sat in a seat in the corner and ordered some kind of soup. It was the same thing he and Hagrid ate when he first arrived in the Wizarding World. Harry looked around as he ate. Now that he was older, he was aware of the shady business that went on there, so he kept an eye out. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw a familiar shape. Hagrid? Harry asked himself. He looked directly at him, and sure enough, it was Hagrid, ordering something at the counter. Hagrid looked towards him and waved. Harry waved for him to join him. Hagrid grabbed his bowl and walked towards him. Haven't seen you in a while, Harry. Oh, how you been? He asked. He sat down across from Harry. I've been great, Hagrid. What have you been up to? Harry asked. I've been around here and there. I want another egg. Can't wait to see what's inside, he said excitedly. Harry mentally facepalmed. Another egg. He always gets himself into trouble when he orders eggs. All right, but make sure if it's a dragon to send it away. At this rate, you're going to get arrested for all the animals you take in illegally, Harry warned him. All right, I'll be careful, he said. The two talked for a while and ate. Harry told Hagrid about the store and Draco and Teddy. That's bloody wonderful, Harry. Hey, soon you'll be a dad. What? Hagrid winked. Harry blushed. He hadn't thought about having children. I mean, how would they? They're both guys. Hagrid, Teddy's first birthday is at the end of the month. Would you like to come to the party? Harry asked him. He valued Hagrid a lot, and he wanted him to see Teddy turn 1. I'd love to. Hagrid exclaimed happily. They talked for a bit more. Then Harry had to leave. He didn't want to leave the store unattended for too long. He said goodbye and headed back. Harry took the away for lunch sign away and opened the doors again. He heard a puff of smoke from above. Must be Draco with Teddy, Harry thought to himself. He waited for Draco to walk down the stairs. And he did. He had a quiet Teddy in his arms. "Hello, sweetie." "Hello, Teddy," Harry greeted happily. Draco handed Teddy to Harry and kissed him. "How come he's so quiet?" Harry asked. "Well, he put on pointing towards the books in the library, so I picked one up and read some to him. I didn't put him down for a nap, so I think he just doesn't know what to do with himself." You want to know what? That happened last night. I had a baby in my lap. She's a really, really chubby baby. Oh, she's so chubby that she's about like 1.5, but she can wear clothes that are for 2-year-olds. And she's so adorable. She was trying, I put my hand down right in front of her because I was mimicking her, because she mimics me. She doesn't make a sound, and she grabs my hand. She looks around, and I'm talking to her brother. She tries to take my ring off my finger, which I can hardly take it off my finger at the moment because my fingers get so pudgy. But I just held her in my lap, and she started to play with my zipper. Didn't say one single word because she didn't know what to do with herself. She didn't know what to do with herself. So basically, I know what's that like. Draco theorized. Harry placed Teddy on the counter and made a funny face at him. At least it made Teddy smile. "Say, Draco, I've been wondering, what should Teddy call us when he speaks? I don't think it's fair if he calls us Dad, since I'm only his godfather. Should he call us Uncle, or just Harry and Draco?" Harry asked. "What about Papa?" Papa? There's other ways to say Dad, but there could be a Papa and a Dad. I'm thinking too much into this, am I? Harry asked. Draco thought for a moment. We aren't his uncle. We aren't his uncles. And godfather is too long. How about he calls us by our first names? We have relatively easy names, Draco said. Harry nodded. He turned to Teddy. "You got that? I'm Harry," said Harry while pointing to himself. "And he's Draco." Harry pointed to Draco. "Can you say Harry and Draco?" "How we?" Teddy said slowly. "How we?" Harry got excited. "That's good. Put it together now." Teddy started again. "Howie!" Teddy said. Harry kissed him. I'm going to say Howie all the time because I just brought it into my brain. Harry kissed him on the head. That's right. Harry. And Harry said, extending the R's. "Howie!" Teddy exclaimed. Harry shrugged his shoulders. "We'll work on it. Can you say Draco?" Draco, not Dwaco. Now I'm speaking baby. No, that's bad. This is why I should never speak to a baby and try to make them say words, because I'll mess it up. Harry asked. Teddy looked at Draco and tried to say his name. "Dwaco," Teddy said slowly. Draco smiled. "That's right. Put it together, Draco told him. Draco! Teddy giggled. Beautiful, Teddy. Draco praised him. Some customers came into the store, and Draco took Teddy off the table and kissed Harry. I think I'll head out. I'll make dinner tonight. Bye, Harry, Draco said. He whispered into Teddy's ear. Can you tell Harry bye-bye? Draco asked him. Teddy held his hand out to Harry. Bye, boy, Harry, Teddy told him. Harry, dang it! Harry melted. He waved bye to Teddy. You know what? I'm going to insert the clip right now. Okay, future me, insert clip right.
Absolutely preposterous.
Actually, preposterous.
Aluminum. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Hippopotamus.
Wow.
Good job. Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
I can barely say that. Anti-disestablishment. Not never mind.
Baby silk.
Can you say Saskatchewan?
Saskatchewan.
Can you please say Saskatchewan?
No, I know how to say Saskatchewan, but I just don't want to.
Such attitude! I refuse to believe it. A child this small can say words that big. No, mother, no Saskatchewan. Only baby shark.
That's what it reminded me of. Good thing I brought out the trash earlier, so. Okay. That's what it reminded me of. It was a Sniper Wolf's video, so. Okay. Bye-bye, Teddy, Harry said. Bye, love, Harry told Draco. Draco carried Teddy back upstairs into the flue, and the two left. Harry turned his attention back to the customers and rung up some of their orders. A man in the red cloak walked in, and he was carrying a bottle. His head was covered. Excuse me, are you Harry Potter? The man asked. Harry nodded. Yes, I am. How can I help you? He asked. The man placed the bottle on his counter. This is your monthly dosage of wolfsbane, provided by the ministry, he told him. Why is the ministry sending this in person? I thought we had to go out and get it ourselves. The ministry is taking a more upfront approach, the man explained to Harry. Have a nice day, the man told him. As he left the store, Harry waved to him goodbye and pocketed the potion. That's weird. No. You do not take that potion. You have Draco test it, because he's like a master at potions, and make sure it's actual wolfsbane and not something else. That's what you need to do. Also, here's another tip. For ladies and men who are drinking and someone gives them a drink, if the ice in your drink is sinking, do not drink the drink, because that means something else is in it, or some other drug that should never be ingested unless you want to do something with your partner you don't want to remember, if you know what I mean. Well, if the ice sinky, no drinky. There you go. I learned that from Sniper Wolf as well. Probably from the same video, but whatever. He continued to ring people up and help them with some of their purchases. Harry only sold one rare plant from the third floor, but he ranked in 16 galleons just for the one plant. So he was happy. It turned 6:30 and Harry decided to lock up and waited for the customers already inside to buy and what they're looking for and leave. Harry did a check to make sure everyone was gone and locked up the store. He headed to the second floor and took out a wooden bowl. Harry felt like there was something fishy going on. He knew for a fact that the ministry was opening up a store so people could attain wolfsbane for free. So why would they send it to him? Harry poured the potion into a bowl. Before he could even make an observation, the potion burned through the wood. That's what I said. Test it before doing anything with it. And dissolved it. it started to disintegrate the table it was on. Harry quickly vanished the liquid away. What the Not saying it. Harry said aloud. Harry sniffed the half-empty bottle of potion. He immediately felt dizzy and he placed it back on the table. What the hell? Harry exclaimed. Harry got a headache from the fumes. That is not wolfsbane. Harry groaned to himself. He bottled the bottle again. He put the bottle back in and placed it back in his pocket. He corked the bottle. That's what it means. Corked the bottle again and placed it into his pocket. He headed to the flue and flew home quickly. Harry stumbled in the living room, felt dizzy from the smell of the unknown potion. Draco, help! Harry called out. He had a killer headache and he couldn't stand up. He stood on his hands and knees and breathed. Draco ran downstairs with Teddy on his hip. Harry, what's wrong? Draco asked. He saw Harry doubled over and quickly placed Teddy in his playpen and rushed to Harry. He grabbed him and walked him to the couch. Honey, what happened? Draco asked urgently. Harry pulled out the potion bottle from his pocket. Can you please check this potion? Whatever you do not touch the liquid and do not breathe in the fumes. Please go check what's in it. Harry asked him. Draco nodded and ran upstairs to the third floor where he set up a potion slab. He took his thickest cauldron and poured the remaining liquid into the pot. He grabbed the metal spoon and stirred the liquid. When he pulled the spoon out, it was melted. What the What is people with the F word nowadays? Draco exclaimed. He took out a book and flipped to a page. He said an incantation in the potion and the liquid started to separate in the pot. Draco held his shirt over his nose. He looked in the pot and saw truly disgusting ingredients. He saw bloodroot, venomous, tentacula juice, death cap mushrooms, so he's trying to kill him, and normal muggle acid mushrooms. Woo! That would be a trip. Muggle mushrooms and wizard mushrooms. Wow, you'll be on a trip for months. If you know what I mean. They all separated for Draco's eyes. Draco vanished the pot and its ingredients away and flipped through the pages of another book. Bloodroot, tentacula, death cap, and acid makes what? Draco exclaimed, frustrated. Oh, good grief. I spat on my phone because I was getting frustrated too. I'm like, what the fuck did he make? I mean, that would be a great trip, my dude. Don't listen to me. Draco exclaimed, frustrated, as he searched through the book. He had a list of most deadly potions, or potions. Nothing? Draco screamed. He analyzed the ingredients itself. All right, bloodroot doesn't create a fume. Death cap does, but it's harmless. Acid mushrooms is only poisonous when eaten. The tentacula must be what is hurting him, Draco thought to himself. He flipped through the pages of the book and found the tentacula page. All right, release fumes can be harmless unless paired with death cap. Fumes cause dizziness, headache, which only lasts a couple of moments. This isn't correct! Harry yelled as he threw the book across the room. He ran downstairs and Harry was clutching his head. Hold on, let's go to St. Mongoose. They'll be able to help you, Draco said. He looked at Teddy, who looked very concerned. Shit, Draco told himself. He ran to Teddy and looked him in the eyes. Mother will be here soon. Do not move a muscle, Harry told him. Draco quickly casted a Patronus and sent a message to Narcissa. He didn't even notice that his Patronus changed to Paratone. Draco sent an urgent message to Narcissa, and he picked Harry up and carried him to the flue. St. Mongoose! Draco exclaimed as he threw down the flue powder. The two vanished in green fire to St. Mongoose. When they got there, Draco dragged Harry out towards the nurses. Please help! Someone poisoned him, Draco told the nurses. Harry was groaning and wobbling around. The nurses got him to a wheelchair and ran towards the opening room. What was he poisoned with? I don't know. I reversed the potion makeup. It was made with bloodroot, deathcap, venomous tentacula, and acid mushrooms. I couldn't find what potion the ingredients made, Draco told them quickly. The nurse waved her hands and wands over his chest. Did he ingest it or smell it? She asked. I think he just smelt it. If he drank it, he'd be dead by now. The potion melted the spoon I used, so I saw he's a bit lucky, Draco said. The nurses looked up his nose and into his eyes. He was still contagious, but he was out of it. Last resort. Bezoar! The nurse yelled as she held her hand out. Another nurse handed her a bezoar, and she shoved it in Harry's mouth. Harry stopped groaning, and he tasted the horrible taste. His headache cleared, and his vision finally came into focus. Is he going to be all right? He asked. The nurse nodded. I'll tell you what. If I were any other potion, then the bezoar wouldn't worked. He's lucky to be alive, she told him. Oh, right here. Oh, sorry, my neck hurts. When I crack it, it makes it feel better. Oh, there we go. She told him. Harry calmed down and looked around. He could finally see Draco. Hey, honey, get rid of the potion yet? Harry asked tiredly. Draco grabbed his hand and nodded. I sent a Patronus to Narcissa to get Teddy. I couldn't carry you both here. I'll go check outside to see if she's here yet, Draco told Harry. He reluctantly left the room and went down the hall towards the flues. He saw Narcissa holding Teddy while asking the nurses where Harry was. I swear, if you don't tell me where he is, She started angrily, but stopped when she saw Draco. She stopped what she was doing and gave him a hug. Where is he? What happened? Narcissa asked. Teddy was looking around curiously. Draco picked him up and kissed him. I think someone tried to poison Harry, he said. He led Narcissa to Harry's room. Hello, Narcissa, Harry greeted. He yawned. Thank you for bringing Teddy, he thanked. No problem. But what happened? She asked. Draco sat at the foot of the bed, but with Teddy on his lap. Harry sat up as he could talk to the two. Some cloaked guy brought in a potion and told me it was wolfsbane from the ministry, that they were sending it to the werewolves instead of letting them get it themselves, Harry said. That's not right. We specifically said we were opening a store for people to pick up the potion, Narcissa interjected. Exactly. I knew something was wrong, so when closing time came, I decided to test the potion. I poured half of it into a wooden bowl, and the bowl disintegrated and burned a hole in the table. I got rid of that half quickly. Of course, I did a really stupid thing, and I sniffed it, thinking I could figure out what the poison. You're very noisy. Not you, I'm talking to the garbage truck. The bowls disintegrated and a hole burned holes in the table. I got rid of the half and quickly, of course, I did a really stupid thing and I sniffed it, thinking I could figure out what poison or whatever it was in it. Turns out there were fumes as well. I felt dizzy, got a killer headache, so I headed home and you know the rest, Harry told them. Teddy crawled onto Harry and Harry let him sit on his lap. The nurse came in. We'd like to observe you over the night, just to make sure there aren't any other effects. You will be able to leave tomorrow morning if nothing else happens, she told them. She left them to talk. I'll bring a change of clothes, Draco said as he stood. All right. I'll do it, Narcissa offered. She left the room and headed over and bring some pajamas. Did you get to look at the person's face? No, I didn't. It was all covered, Harry said. Teddy sat on his lap and traced a little finger over the scar on his face. After a year, his lightning bolt scar was barely noticeable. Same went for the dark mark, but the scar over his eye was the same. He took the resemblance to Remus with the scar and messy hair. Howie! Teddy said happily. Harry and Draco smiled. Yes, I am Harry, he said. Draco laughed. I can't believe someone tried to kill you, Draco said. He was still a bit stunned from the experience. I'm not. If anything, I expected it to have been the first time I left the burrow. I'm surprised that this was the first assassination attempt on my life. It's been almost an entire year after Voldemort died, Harry said. It was almost scary of how calm he was. This changes the game a little. You've got to be careful, Draco said. You too. You're married to me, and a lot of other Voldemort supporters will be very pissed to find out you aren't in Azkaban. We've both got to be very careful of who comes into our lives. I'll start bringing our lunches instead of eating out, Harry said. Draco agreed. When you go out shopping for food, go in disguise. Someone might try to poison the food we buy, Draco added. I think we'll be fine. With our brains and my bronze, it'll be hard to get us again. Plus, Teddy's accidental magic will be able to protect him if something happens, Harry said. He looked at Teddy, who was mindlessly changing his hair color and length. Narcissa came back with some clothes and placed it on the table next to the bed. Thank you, Narcissa, Harry thanked her. Have you told Molly yet? Bitch, I'm sorry, but when do you think they had time to tell Molly? Oh, if they told Molly, oh no, it's over. Whoever tried to poison him will be murdered by Molly. Oh, she also by Narcissa. But I mean, those two could team up and destroy Voldemort. I mean, Molly could take care of Bellatrix Lestrange, and a lot of people had trouble with that. But if those two teamed up, they could change lives, especially Voldemort. So, if they messed with the wrong people. Harry and Draco shook their heads. I don't want to worry them. I'm fine now. I'll just tell them tomorrow, Harry said. A nurse in an Auror walked into the room. Harry Potter, it's nice to meet you, the Auror greeted. Hello, who are you? Harry asked. The name is Grindel. I'm an Auror that is assigned to you after the war, to write up reports if and when someone tries to kill you. Well, friggin' good timing, my dude, Grindel said. He pulled out piece of parchment, a quill, and ink from his pocket. The nurse provided him a chair and table to write on, and left the room. I never knew someone assign an order to me. Can I have some identification? Harry asked. He dug through his pockets and pulled out a card. Harry read it. He knew a real name from a fake. All right, Grindel. What do you need? Harry asked. Well, I'd like to get a testimony from you. Pretty much explain what happened, he said. More in an ordering tone. Harry straightened up. I was at my store when someone in a red cloak walked in and gave me a potion. He said it was from the ministry and it was my monthly dosage of wolfsbane. I knew something was up because there are stores set up so I can get it for free. But he gave it to me personally, so I pocketed it and waited till closing time. I went upstairs and poured half of it into a wooden bowl. It disintegrated it and burned holes in my table. I vanished it and smelt the remains in the bottle. Usually you can smell the potion being covered up with another smell, but the fumes made me dizzy and have a killer headache. I stumbled into the flue and went home. I told Draco to reverse it to figure out what happened. Harry said. It was made of bloodroot, venomous tentacula, death cap, and acid mushrooms. Those ingredients all together, saying them like how he's supposed to be saying them, is not going to be easier for me, no matter how many times I say it, Draco interjected. He couldn't find a cure, so he brought me here. They shoved Bezoar in my mouth, and here I am. That's all there is, Harry concluded. Grindel finished writing everything down. Did you see the culprit's face? He asked. Harry shook his head. Covered all the way. His hands even had gloves on, so I couldn't see what color skin he had. Harry said. You know it's a man, he questioned. Of course. His voice was deep and manly. Unless you drank Polyjuice potion and turned into a guy, Harry finished. Grindel finished writing and said goodbye to the four. At least someone is out there taking my reports, Harry joked. Teddy yawned a bit and was blinking blurry-eyed. I'll take him home so he can sleep. He had a lot of excitement for today, Draco said as he picked Teddy up. I made dinner for you, but I think they'll let me give it to you. I don't think they'll let me give it to you, Draco said. Narcissa stood and said her goodbyes. I'll come back tomorrow to check on you, she said. Draco kissed Harry goodbye, and the three walked back to the flues to go home. Harry was left alone in his room. He closed the door and he got dressed in his pajamas. Some nurses came in to check him, and he was finally allowed to sleep. The next morning, Draco, Teddy, and Narcissa came to visit him. Harry was eating the food that the hospital provided him. It was horrible. I'm going to say this, but some hospital food ain't that bad. Especially the ice cream. I don't know what it is. They cut off budget for the food. Then the ice cream hit and you're like, oh, it's so much better. Or pudding. Oh my goodness. They spoil me on pudding. Favorite one? Vanilla. Ooh, no. Butterscotch. Butterscotch, my favorite. Vanilla's pretty good. Can't have chocolate. It makes me gag for some reason. Anyways. The hospital provided him. It was horrible. Hello, love. Hello, Teddy. Harry greeted them. He gave them both a hug. Hello, Narcissa. She hugged him. I told Molly that you were in the hospital, but I told her you were completely fine and nothing was wrong. I convinced her to not come and visit, that you would come over today, Draco told Harry. That effing hurt. But I feel better now. Draco told Harry. That's good. The nurse just said that I can leave after breakfast. But honestly, I'd rather starve. Harry laughed. He got up and picked up Teddy. Draco grabbed his clothes and Narcissa followed them to the nurse's counter and where they signed out and flew back home. Draco and Narcissa waited in the living room for Harry to shower and change. Before coming back down, they all walked into the flue and disappeared. Is that what oh my gosh. I feel so dumb. Did Alex keep on saying disappeared by spelling it like disapparated? I feel so stupid. Disappeared to the burrow. Darn it. Harry! Hermione exclaimed. She hugged him and then Draco and then Narcissa. Mate, what happened? Harry asked as he hugged them. Molly and Arthur greeted them and then Ginny and George. What happened? Draco wouldn't tell me, Molly said. I can officially say I survived my first assassination attempt. Harry joked. He wasn't worried anymore. If anything, he's relieved. Now he knows that people are going to try to kill him. What? George said. The group sat down and Molly brought some stacks. Ooh, cookies. Ooh, Milanos. I could go for a Milano. Or Haman's hats right now. It's a friggin' A. It's a Jewish cookie shaped in a 3. It's a Haman. If you don't know the story in Jewish history, Jews were persecuted by this guy named Haman. And they got revenge or fought back against Haman. So in celebration of fighting against him and surviving, they made Haman hats, which is a 3, it's like a triangle-shaped cookie with filling of any type of jam inside. Any type of fruit. My favorite has to be raspberry. But they're so expensive. But so good. It's so worth it sometimes. Well, someone tried to trick me into drinking a potion disguised as wolfsbane. It didn't work, but I did smell the fumes and it sent me to the hospital, Harry summed up quickly. That's horrid! Are you okay now? Hermione asked. Harry nodded. I'm good now. We're just going to have to be careful now about what we eat. I'll have to start packing my own lunches and going in disguise when I buy food, Harry assured her. Well, it certainly took them long enough, Harry joked. George smacked him on the arm. What? Harry and I were joking just last week, betting on when his first attempt would be, Ron said. Draco slapped Harry on the arm. Ow! We were joking around. I didn't think it would actually happen so soon, Harry defended. You two don't know when to take a situation seriously, Ginny sighed. I do, but why mope about it if everything is all right in the end? No one was hurt, so let's joke about it a little, Harry said. Teddy was bouncing up and down on his knee. Looking at the others, Draco took him and placed him on his shoulders. Teddy played around with his hair while Draco held onto his legs. Anyways, everything is all right. I got to the hospital in time, so there's nothing to worry about. We'll just have to be more careful now, Harry concluded. Molly invited the two for breakfast. Four. Oh, yeah. He wasn't counting Teddy. I'm sorry. Molly invited the two for breakfast, while Harry gladly agreed to. He sat Teddy on his lap and fed him some eggs off his plate. They said goodbye and headed back home. I'll take care of the store today. You can stay home with Teddy and rest, Draco said. Draco told Harry. I'm fine. I can work the register. Harry tried to persuade Draco. No, you're staying on this property, and that's final, Draco concluded. He kissed the two goodbye and headed to the store. Draco is being stubborn today, Harry told Teddy. Do you want to go outside? He asked. Teddy squealed happily. Harry carried him outside, and they played in the backyard for a while. Harry brought Teddy in for a nap and warmed up some leftovers. For lunch, Harry placed a protective charm on Teddy's room, and he left to deliver lunch to Draco. I brought lunch, Harry said as he walked downstairs. Draco was at the counter ringing up customers. Thank you. Just put it on the counter, Draco said. Harry placed his lunch on the counter and kissed him. I've got to go to Teddy. Got to go. Teddy is at home taking a nap, Harry said. He left and flew back home. He checked on Teddy once more, and he was still sleeping where he was left. Harry read a little in his study and got Teddy up from his nap. Draco came home, and they all ate dinner together. Teddy got a bath and was put down for bedtime. Harry and Draco got a shower and went to bed together.
Excuse me. What year is it, please?
Screw you. That's what it is. Oh my. Wait, how short is this? Nah. Yeah, we'll do it. Wedding plans. Okay, comment what Hogwarts house you think I'm in. By the way, I've decided to keep this continual book, so stay tuned for a heart attack. What? I wasn't worried until you said that. No, don't read this like this. I think you're a Ravenclaw. Are a Ravenclaw. And I'm a Slytherin, by the way. BTW. There you go. I commented. Okay. A couple days had passed. Harry and Draco took turns working at the store. The other, who was in charge of Teddy, always brought lunch to the other. Draco waited until Monday, their free day, to bring up the wedding. Harry and Draco sat in the parlor with Teddy, letting him play around and explore with magical boundaries everywhere. Harry, I think we should start planning the wedding, don't you think? Draco brought up. You're right. We can do something today. We can do some planning today. I've got an entire free day, so might as well, Harry decided. Well, where do you want to have the wedding? Draco asked. Where do you want it? Harry asked him back. Draco thought for a moment. We have a beautiful backyard with flowers and gardens. How about on the property? Draco suggested. Harry smiled. That sounds perfect, Harry agreed. Harry quickly casted a spell towards Teddy that directed him away from the giant display. The giant display case. Teddy's legs were strong. Teddy's legs were strong enough to carry him for a couple of steps, but he needed to use some objects to get himself up. Harry's been very adamant to make sure he doesn't pull anything down onto himself. Let's just have close friends and family only. I'm not a big fan of giant weddings, Harry said. Draco agreed. what about we wear white robes instead of black? Wait, what? Do you want to have a best man? Draco asked. Harry thought for a moment and shook his head. There's too many people that I'm too close to choose a best man. I'd naturally go naturally for Ron, but Hagrid was like my father figure, who drank tea after school. We drank tea after school every day, and he helped us through problems, and he wanted to raise me. But then again, Ron has been there with me through everything, and so has the Weasleys. I don't think I could make a choice, he concluded. Draco agreed. He knew if he were to have a best man, it would be Ron, but that was surely because he didn't have any guys or men in his life that really made a big impact. Although he still thought of Ron as a great friend, he hasn't known him that well. Harry laughed. Since I proposed to you, that means you're going to walk down the aisle, Harry teased lightly. Draco smiled at the thought. We don't need a wedding director, right? I think we can manage everything ourselves. Plus, I'm sure Molly would end up helping us even if we asked her not to. Draco joked. Harry agreed. Molly has already been dropping hints about planning the wedding. She keeps on showing Harry different types of flowers and the color schemes for special events. We can ask Molly if she wants to help out. I think we can count on her for the cake and snacks. The ropes can be made. To save money, we can transfigure some ordinary house items into chairs for the service, and they'll just revert back in after an hour or two. The attic might have something there. Overall, it'll be a calm wedding with nothing too fancy, and a house is big enough to hold everyone inside. Draco planned out verbally. Harry held onto Draco's hand. It sounds perfect. Let's not worry too much about it. We'll still have time. I'd like to have a wedding after the full moon, so we're not pressed for time, Harry told Draco. Draco dropped the discussion for now and focused on Teddy. Teddy said as he handed Draco a toy. Teddy was talking more, but his words weren't completely correct. He meant here. So many other words he said was butchered. Thank you, Teddy. Draco thanked Teddy. Teddy walked over to do something else, but stumbled on the way, but that didn't faze him. He's so cute, Draco said aloud. He loved watching Teddy toddle around. It was cute, and for a child, he was exceptionally behaved. I love children. They're so innocent and happy, Harry said, looking at Teddy. Draco could see a sort of glint in his eyes, like a twinkle. It reminded me of the looks that Dumbledore would. It reminded him of the looks that Dumbledore would give the students. Draco was going to comment something, but decided against it. You're right, was all he said. They watched Teddy and occasionally intervened when he was climbing onto something. Overall, he entertained himself. Harry headed downstairs to make dinner, and everyone headed down when it was done. The two started to integrate. There we go. Teddy into their meals, feeding him every couple of bites they took. Draco ran a bath for Teddy, and they got all cleaned up, ready for bed. Harry sat in the rocking chair and held him on his lap while he read him a story. He then placed Teddy into his crib and retired to his room for the night. Harry was currently laying down on the bed, and while Draco sat on his bum and massaged his back. Some of the stress was giving Harry a tense back, so Draco would help him out. I've got a question, Harry. I have a question. Do you think something bad is going to happen again? Something that's Grindelwald bad? Draco asked out of the blue. Harry paused. I don't know. I doubt after Voldemort nothing is going to be able to get that bad. Not that the Ministry is administering so many more procedures. It'll be extremely hard to match even Grindelwald with all the security, was Harry's answer. Without missing a beat, Draco asked, if something that bad happened again, the Ministry asked for your help, would you help them? Even if you weren't in danger, would you help them? Harry was caught off guard and he didn't know. I'm not sure. Oh, there would be many factors and that would determine my answer. What would the factors be? Draco asked. Harry sighed. Well, if we had children later on, they weren't adults yet, then I would definitely go to safety with you to protect them. But if something happened to you and Teddy, I wouldn't have any other reason to deny my service. And if we had children and something happened to any of them, you can bet your sweet ass I'll fight the evil side. It all depends on who is in my life. If I do not have another reason to live, I'll fight alongside the light. Harry told Draco. Draco nodded his head and continued to massage Harry's back. Are you scared that I'm going to go back to the field? Harry asked Draco. He flipped around so Draco was sitting on his stomach. Harry was facing him. Harry could see some mixed emotions on Draco's face. I just don't want you to go back out and something happen. You end up leaving the family behind, I mean. People are out there trying to kill you, but what happens if one day you go looking for them and they find you first? I don't want to be left alone, Draco told Harry. Harry reached his arms around to Draco and pulled him down onto Harry. Draco laid on him and held him. As Harry held him, he said, You have nothing to worry about. I have a reason to be around, and I don't have a prophecy hanging over my head like a sword. Until a threat endangers you and the others, I have tried my best to protect you. Only then will I go help. I doubt it will come to that, Harry assured Draco. The two laid there for a moment before crawling under the covers. Draco nuzzled into Harry's chest and Harry leaned his head onto Draco's head. They fell asleep quickly. Okay, all done. Little kid thing. All done. Next one will be birthday and negotiations. Okay, I'm going to end it here. I did how many chapters? 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4 chapters, and we have, 4 chapters and an update next episode, which is probably going to be Friday. Yeah, Friday. Okay, no, Saturday. Got it. I forgot it's not Wednesday today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this very much. I sure enjoyed it. Be happy, be healthy, and always be loving. Stay cool. Love your kids. Love your wives. Whatever. Wives. I need to stop playing that game. Ouch. What am I going to say? I'll let you know. I'll probably take some pictures and post them on my Instagram or Twitter for the scholarship thing for Miller Mentoring. the one I was interviewed for, and I'll let you know what happens. I'll take some pictures with my family. You'll see what my dad looks like. I don't think you've ever seen what he looks like. And be happy, be healthy, and always be loving. I love you guys so much. Bye-bye.